Good morning, this is Jack from theartchart.net, and this is the pre-market recording for Thursday, the 20th of December. Our disclaimer: we do this for educational purposes only. We're here to share our technical analysis with you. We hope you can take some of what we're doing and learn from it. Transfer it to your own charts. We're not here to issue trading signals. Right, okay, what's happened on ES overnight? Well, we made a lower low, and we've come back up. We've got resistance up here in about the 25-20 area. Is this an IHS forming? Probably not. We did a lower low, and we had no positive divergence. Otherwise, we would be on buy signals, and NQ did the same. Chances are we're going to need to retest this Globex low in RTH today. That's not always the case, but it looks likely here. And as and when we do that, we may be making a low. Now, what's the case for a low here? And really, I think Stan mentioned the 2468 area. Really get below that, and we're through the next big support level. Get through that, and actually we could open up lower. We could be seeing margin calls on people today. We could see a rapid unwind, but I think the chances are we're probably going to hold this area. If we have a look at the NQ chart, I've got a nice channel here. Tested channel report, tested again. I think we may well test it again this morning, but I think so far that's holding. That may well hold. Retest this Globex low and hold it, and we've got a 60-minute buy signal brewing. We could well see a bounce. If we had a look at the 60-minute chart, well, actually, let's have a look at the assorted charts here, actually. Let's have a look at the daily. Now, the daily, I've got a large overall falling channel, and I have this drawn in, and I actually have this, I showed it in the video yesterday, but I showed it to Stan and Matt. I haven't actually updated it since the video in the morning, but what I did was I just showed them as it was with the support up here, and then I refreshed it to show that we'd had an exact perfect touch of this trend line here. That might hold. And we could be starting a rally here today, and I would not be at all surprised to see that. But you see this area here, I've got a little open gap here. Fill that gap, and that potentially opens the downside. 68 is the key number on SPX, about 3 higher, I think, on ES. So that is what we're looking at. Break that, and we can go lower. Otherwise, chances are we're going to see some kind of a low here and a rally, which will probably last, well, until the end of next week. Or longer, and we shall see. All right, 5 DMA, I've currently got that at 2569, dropping rapidly. That's probably going to be hitting 2550 today. That's going to be a pretty good marker for the end of the day if the rally has started. In terms of signals, we're still on 60-minute and daily buy signals, as we were when we started this move down yesterday. So not taking the signals. Well, the ES one's more sensitive, so I'm watching for that on a retest of the overnight low. But here I am watching with great interest, but one thing I am watching is the 50-hour moving average at 2609, and I would note that on ES, and this is well worth noting, from ES day to day, when you're in a trend, always watch where the 50-hour moving average is. You see we broke up over that and failed, but you can see it was going through it here during the flag, which is a very flaggy type action, resistance before, support before, etc. It's a very good short-term trend indicator, and that's now currently in about the 25-30 area. Not a coincidence that Stan's talking about that as a key support level. That's what it is. So we shall see how that goes this morning. Okay, let's have a quick look at the other indices, just because obviously the indices are particularly interesting at the moment. RUT. Still on the 60-minute buy signal, gone a bit lower. Obviously, we've now got, on the bigger picture, this is a head and shoulders that's broken down, and it's got a target in the 1160 area. Not expecting to see that without a serious rally. If we did see a rally, then we might well be still looking for a backtest of the broken head and shoulder neckline, and that would be in about the 1475 area. NDX, we're again on 60-minute buy signal, I think. Yep, that's still held. Watching again, we've got a head and shoulders which is broken down on the bigger picture, and could be seeing a back test of that broken neckline, or could be going higher. We shall see. The 50 DMA has been pretty solid resistance here, I would note, particularly here when it was crossing the 200. But the 50 DMA is at 6900. I am not thinking, well, we did some technical damage yesterday, quite a lot of it actually, and if you look at the, you can see that best here. Now this is the potential head and shoulder neckline in the 25-30 area, but that doesn't have to be a head and shoulder neckline. It can also be double top support. And we just broke down from that, and that's got alternate targets in the, I think the 21, 10, and 80 areas. That's a long way down. I'm surprised not to see a bounce here, but that double top may be about to play out over the next couple of months. Well, honestly, it could play out today, but I don't think it's terribly likely. But I think, and I like this this channel down. I'm thinking we see a decent bounce here, but afterwards this channel may hold, and we may well just head straight down. This is quite a steep falling channel. I would not be surprised to see that happen. If that's the case, then that target's not a bad match with a couple of the targets I've been talking about on chart chats before. So actually, I think that's doable. We are not likely to be forming the head and shoulders right shoulder here now. We could still be breaking down from that double top. All right, let's have a look at CL. CL has retested the low as expected. This could well be the second low of a double bottom. I've got daily buy signals fixed. I've got a weekly buy signal brewing. I love this on the long side, and I think this may well be a significant low from which it could, well, potentially double. It could go up a lot. NG, this broke down yesterday. Nice flag setup. Was expected to see a retest of the low. It didn't quite make it. I'm wondering whether it still needs to do it. I'm wondering whether it is forming a larger flag. It doesn't necessarily need to, and it may be that it's not. But until at the moment, this could easily be a larger flag channel. So I'm still wondering about a retest this low. I would have flag support in about 3.6 area. GC stands talking about the 1271 area, and I would note that I've got he's talking about the 1270 area. I would note that I've got trendline resistance in about the 1271 area. That's a pretty good match. We may well go see it. Depends what happens this morning, how much weakness we see on the market, and obviously if we do actually see another big support break today, then things could get pretty wild. But chances are that's not going to happen. But you know, there are no guarantees. It's there's no big news event to trigger it today, as there was yesterday. SI is coming back pretty close to a retest to high. We've already got a decent looking double top in place. It may well be continuing higher. We shall see. DX is showing some weakness now. I'll come to that in a minute. But DX is showing some weakness, and that may well mean that I think that means that the after a rally in DX here, which is likely, we're likely to see a lot more upside in precious metals. And SI particularly, as I've mentioned, I love the vol setup on it. It's really, really nice. HG, decent looking falling wedge. We're breaking up slightly over wedge resistance, and we have a nice looking double bottom here. It could be this is going to go higher. There is a decent case, I think, for a retest of 2.55, but it may be that we're not going to see it. In the short term, this is a bullish leaning looking setup. ZB made 146 target. Technically, it would be nice to see it reach 146.02, but we've already got a sell signal fix. I think this is going to be turning with indices today. DX has followed through. I was talking yesterday about it following through on the break yesterday morning. That has followed through. We've got a possible double top in this area. Would need a little lower. I think trend line is probably best to put there for that. But I think I'm keeping an open mind. Stan's looking for a rally here soon. We may well see that. We are still on a 60-minute buy signal. After that, I think this has killed off the chances of getting over 98 in all probability. And again, it's now, and I think the lean is back to being short sooner rather than later. USD. USD is coming up to a decent resistance level. This wouldn't be a bad place to see a pullback. We could, on this setup, actually potentially be seeing a right shoulder low form, in which case I'd be expecting a move back to the monthly pivot in the 1.1344 area. The yen broke a bit lower. It's still on a 60-minute buy signal. There's an obvious target below. Obviously, to retest this low at 111.37T area. I'm expecting this to follow the dollar. I think so. I'm expecting to see a rally. Chances are we'll see that in the yen too, and then down. And chances are we'll see that in the yen too. Okay, USD CAD. We have gone a little higher. I've got a no divergence here on the 60-minute, but there's a possible double top here. We could well be making a short-term high here, but this is positively correlated with the dollar, and it does look as though the dollar's about to rally. Australian dollar, we have the original very nice falling wedge has turned into a larger very nice falling wedge. We've broken up for a little double bottom. We're on a 6-minute buy signal. The next obvious target is wedge resistance just over 71.75, and if that breaks, then we could be making a low here. I really, really like Australian dollar on the long side. I was talking about that on Chart Chat on Sunday. KC has gone a little lower. It's not gone quite low enough to do the full retest of the bear market low. My suspicion is it probably needs to do that. But in the short term, we've seen a bit of a rally. We're on a 60-minute buy signal. It hasn't made target, and there's an obvious target at a back test of the weekly pivot at 1.031. SB has come back, retested the low. Gotta say, I like the long side here, and I think this is an IHS right shoulder, and it could go up at any time. So there's a nice looking double bottom. I'm waiting to see whether that breaks up now. I think Stan's thinking it may go lower. I'm thinking this is pretty decent support here. It may well find support here, and so far it's not breaking. CC has broken up from the double bottom. I really like this on the long side. Not really making much progress towards the double bottom target at the moment, but we haven't actually broken back with any decision below the broken double bottom support resistance either. So I think we're waiting for direction. Chances are that's going to be up, and the next target's going to be in the 2400 area. ZW, I've got a nice looking potential rising megaphone here actually. If that's the case, then we're going to come down and test megaphone support in the 518 area, and may well find support there, or obviously break down to a probable retest at the low. I'm leaning towards finding some support there and starting another leg up into the 540s. Next, Corn. Corn could be topping out here, no current divergence, keeping an open mind. Soy could be topping out here, no current divergence, keeping an open mind. I think Stan's leaning along on both of those. I'm not convinced, but it may well be the case. All right, great. I'm going to stop the recording there.